Hey everyone, welcome to Geeks for Geeks. I'm Ishan Sharma, and in today's video we'll be talking about what all can you do with Python. Let's get started. Now, first of all, let's just get the obvious out of the way. Python is again a really beginner-friendly programming language. It's very easy for you to learn it. It's very easy for you to, just start writing some code in it because it looks a lot similar to English, right? So if you just read some Python code, you will probably be able to understand most of what is actually happening in it. And if you run it, what would actually happen as an output. So that's a good part about Python, and that's why it is recommended for beginners as well by a lot of people. And then of course we know about the salary aspect of it as well. So let's say there's a fresher who knows Python and is like a Python developer. They can be earning anywhere between 8 lakh rupees per annum all the way up till like 12, 15 lakh rupees per annum as well. So that's what you should be knowing about Python. Now moving on to the applications. So what all can you do with it? What are the use cases of Python? Why should you be interested in learning Python? The first one is going to be web development. Okay, so now there are certain modules or frameworks that are built on top of Python that you can just import, and then you can get a lot of its features right out of the box, right? So you can just import things like Flask or Django. These are some frameworks that you can use to create a server in Python of like a website. So let's say you want to make a website, you want to have the front end that can just be built using HTML, CSS. Then let's say you want to make the backend part of it using Flask or Django. I would recommend you to take a look at Flask. That's a very beginner friendly framework. Django is a little bit more advanced. Just look at Flask, see if you're able to understand it or not. And then you should be able to make a very basic server, should be able to do like the basic CRUD functionality. And then you can also connect it with a database, and that is how you can make your first full stack application, right? So that's what I would say. Web development, really important application of Python. Moving on to the next part, this is going to be machine learning and artificial intelligence. All of you already know about this. I should not be saying machine learning and AI. They're basically the same thing. AI is like a superset of machine learning, and basically in machine learning, there are a lot of these models that you can create using Python, right? So again, Python is a lot similar to English, and that's why it is used. And it is just a great way for you to just build models quickly and see the end result. Okay, now yes, Python does have some downsides as well. Like it is quick for you to build the project, but it is slow for the execution part, right? So if you compare how much time does it take for you to compile or for you to run one program in C or in Python, you would definitely find C programs run much faster. But anyways, we are talking about the applications. So machine learning, artificial intelligence, you can use, there is this module called as TensorFlow, and then you also have PyTorch, you have SciPy, you have sklearn. So all of these will help you to first of all get the data set. So with sklearn, you can get the most popular data sets out there, and then you can sort of use TensorFlow and its built-in methods to sort of build your own neural network or your own model and just try to predict some outcome or try to make your own model, right? So that's what you can do. Do try it out. If you're interested, you can find some resources on the Geeks for Geeks website for this as well. But yeah, artificial intelligence and machine learning is huge. If you are a Python developer, you would definitely be thinking of, okay, how can I learn Python? Then once I've learned Python, I would like to go into AI and ML, and I would like to explore that field. So do try that out as well. Okay, now moving on to the third part. Okay, so what's the third application? The third application would be web scraping. So web scraping, and I would also like to include scripting and automation. So let's say you want to track the price of your favorite laptop, for example. Okay, and you want to do it on like Amazon or Flipkart or something like that. You can actually use a lot of the web scraping modules that are available. Like you have Beautiful Soup, and then you can also use the requests module. You can use LXML as like a parser, and that way you can get the information of, let's say, the price of your laptop. You can use like a SMTP client, and you can basically create a simple project which would just email you whenever the price goes down below a certain threshold. So that's another great application that you can look at. And of course, we also have some ways to like download some data from some website or some Instagram or some other websites you can go on to, and you can download content. Do check it out, although it's actually not completely legal. Like, you'll have to make sure that the website allows you to do web scraping, so just be aware of that part. Okay, a lot of websites don't like people scraping data from their website or from their code. Okay, so that's the third application that I can talk about. The fourth one would be GUIs. Okay, graphical user interfaces. What do? Basically, they will help you to build like a very simple user interface that the customers of your project can interact with. So let's say you have some modules, like you have Tkinter, then you have PyQt5, then you have Kivy, Kivy, right? So these will enable you to create user interfaces. It's quite simple. I have used Tkinter, so I can tell you from my own experience. I made like a music player that was really easy, and it was really interesting as well. I could actually load in my music files and I can run that right there. So that's also really interesting. But yeah, this is what I would say. Do try to use these modules available to you to build some of these applications, right? Then of course you have data science and you have big data analytics and all that. If you can learn about NumPy, Matplotlib, Pandas, then you can start building models on top of these data sets that are available on Kaggle. Just go to Kaggle and search for some data sets. Try to enroll yourself in like a competition and try to just apply whatever you've learned. Try to select like a model and then apply your learnings and make like a model that can predict something. And that's just how you can become a better data scientist. You can try to evaluate data, try to study data and find patterns, and that is what you can do, right? So that's what I would say. There is also some other applications, like you can make your own virtual assistant. This is a lot more smaller one, so you can use these modules, like you have PyTTSX3, Python text-to-speech, right? Then you have GTTS, Google text-to-speech. So these are some modules that you can use in Python to basically create your own virtual assistant that you can integrate a lot of features into, right? So all of these things are available. You can also check out a lot of the APIs that are available to you, and you can do some amazing things with that. You can build some great projects. That's what I would say. What is Python not good for? If you are thinking about that, basically it's not the best language if you want to build games. So if you take an example of the games that you are currently playing, let's say you're playing some game called as PUBG or Fortnite, and these complex games in which there's a lot of shadows, 3D, players, characters are available. There you would have to have some engines, some gaming engines that you can use, and that is where it would be better for you to use Unity 3D, C#, and Unreal Engine, and there are many others that you can use. Godot is also a great example. So yeah, do take a look at these if you are interested into game development. What you can do is that you can use these modules, like you have the Turtle module, and then you also have the Pygame module. Using these modules, you can actually create yourself like a very simple game, right? So imagine your old games that you used to play. We had the snake game, we had the tic-tac-toe game, we had a Pong game, Mario, space shooter game, Pac-Man, and a lot of these simple games. You can definitely build them using Python and Pygame and Turtle, but it is just a little bit of a hectic task actually, right? So yeah, I started my journey into Python. I made my first few projects. Those were games actually. I made the snake game, and that was actually really interesting for me. But yeah, that's what I would say. These are some applications of Python. This is why you should be learning Python. It's really interesting. What all can you do? Once you learn the basics of this language, look at the modules that are made available for this, and you can start building a lot of those things on top of it just by using these modules. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me here. You can check out a lot of the other blogs that we have about Python and about these modules that I've talked about. The link would be in the description. I hope to see you in the next video. Make sure that you hit the like button as well. I'll see you. Bye-bye.